afternoon. I'm certified broadcast meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op, where weather meets community. I hope you're all having a really decent Friday. I would like to say good Friday. I don't know if that'd be in poor taste, but certainly a decent Friday, especially across Southern California. We do have a big weather update for you all. Keep in mind, for the past several days, I've been talking about the fact that we don't only have the weather here that's happening with regards to the winds and the fire weather, but we had a couple of storms. So we had firestorms and we had winter storms we were eyeing. So we have seen a devastating blow to many people across the South, where they've been getting a lot of snow and a lot of ice. That was one of my bigger concerns, was of course that ice that could be layered right underneath the snow, and the possibility for any freezing rain. Remember, when rain hits the surface and it freezes upon contact, that's freezing rain. That's been a big concern for as well, because we've been seeing that rain snow line, or really just that line that differentiates precip wintry versus non-wintry precip. We've been seeing that kind of just flirt and skirt those states across the South. So I do want to quickly show you, of course, the immediate local concern here in Southern California, although we do global weather updates. We are looking at the wind profile, and notice how we're starting to get a kick up in that northeasterly wind once again. So I want to make note, let me step off camera for just one moment, and I'm going to go ahead and grab possibly the name of the somebody who actually reached out to me and said, hey, we're in the clear, right? We've been hearing that the winds are dying down and things are gonna be so much better. And I said, well, hang tight, sir, because that's not the case. The reason it's not the case is because, I'm stepping back on camera, is because we are seeing a shift in the winds once again, and we're also seeing an increase in those wind speeds. So right now, the winds are not very impressive. We'll go through those in just one moment. But Sunday, we're going to see a kick up in those wind speeds again. Now, we're getting that northeasterly component. So keep in mind, anytime we're talking about that, we have the potential for those downslope winds, which some of the things that we are concerned about, apart from the actual wind speed, would be wind gusts, but compressional heating. We've already talked about that. So the individual I'm talking about was Davis Walsh. Hi, Davis Walsh. I was concerned that I'm not sure who you're looking at or what you're watching, but I was a little concerned by the kind of more relaxed vibe of that message. I certainly want you to feel like you can contact us in these situations. I was concerned. I'm concerned. No, we're not in the clear, guys. Not yet. We still have to contend with those winds that are going to kick up again. Additionally, the fact that we're only 8% contained in Palisades Fire, I believe 8%. We may be a little bit better, but still 8%. And then we still have to deal with the fact that we've got the compressional heating, and we still have some more wind issues. Okay, so we're going to go over a couple of things right now, including, you see this dominant northeasterly push, right? Especially across LA County, impacting a lot of the fires that we have here locally. Long Beach, you're getting a northeasterly push in and around Los Angeles County, Ventura County. We are seeing the northeasterly influence as well. So this is going to be the dominant wind for at least the next couple of hours. We will get variable winds throughout the next couple of hours, but just please be aware that we're not in the clear yet. Again, to see that DM, I was a little alarmed because I don't know where they're getting the information. Not the case. All right, so let's take a look here. We've got that northeasterly push. You can see here how we have our near surface smoke and our vertically integrated smoke profile here that's impacting us, right? So we can see that right there. If I took off the near surface smoke and I just kept on the vertically integrated smoke, you're going to see that we still have an issue. Okay, so make sure that you are masked up and that you maintain your mask on for as often as you can. I mean, I'm sure some of you just need a little bit of a break, but just something to be mindful of right there. And in just one moment, we're going to show you a live cam outside. You can see this is our UC San Diego camera, and we're going to go over some of the images that we're getting in locally into the station. So I want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to message us, make sure that you are following us, and make sure that you refer us to your friends and family members as we are continuing to tidy up the little bits and pieces of our app. Okay, so right now, Jay, what are we looking at right now, and what direction are we looking? What's everything facing here? Looks like it's facing.
You are looking at the Topanga Peak camera facing south.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind you is Malibu, and then the horseshoe there that you can see see off in the distance,
Mhm.
that would be Pacific Palisades,
Mhm.
and looking down coast with the smoke plume animated
Mhm.
for the last 30 minutes as the fire continues to burn, although the smoke is definitely dying down, so that the firefighting efforts are making a huge difference
Mhm.
today. There is much less smoke apparent in this video than we saw even earlier this morning.
But also, I do want to know if you can go ahead and show us the current wind profile. That might actually shed some light as to why it appears that things are just a lot more, perhaps better. Well, a lot more better. That's a no. That's a no. A big fat no. Okay. I've got my handy dandy clicker, guys.
She's clicking.
Don't make me start something with my clicker, because I will. All right, we're going to take a quick look at our current wind speeds, because they're not that impressive right now. But again, as I said, it looks like the winds are going to second half of this upcoming weekend. I have a couple of products ahead of the current wind profile. Quick look though, we can see temperatures locally are mainly in the 60s, pretty mild, a few 70s as well, in and across the LA County region. The current wind profile, I'm seeing pretty calm winds right now, for the most part, Jay, right?
Yeah, I'm under 10 miles an hour, 10 to 15. Here we go. We'll zoom in for you. Let that auto-populate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 to 15. There are definitely some gusts. That looks like some kind of a boundary
Right.
sliding over the ridge there.
So again, we're dealing with downslope.
Yeah, I would say this afternoon for sure.
We're also
looking at
dealing,
a good downslope event down toward that area, unfortunately.
and we're also dealing with 10 to 15 mile per hour wind speeds. Okay. As I mentioned, we're going to see a kick up in those wind speeds. Now, I've said this so many times in the past. I find winds to be so fascinating when it comes to a forecast. Like, it's probably one of my favorite features to forecast and to nowcast and backcast and to consider, because winds again are all about equilibrium. It's all about achieving this balance in the atmosphere. Whenever we get those winds kicking up, I always try to tell people just be mindful. But thank you so much. Thanks, babe. Babe. Jay, oops. Is my husband in today? It's live, guys. This is why we do this. But he's my husband, best friend. Sometimes is my hairdresser. Sometimes is my lip gloss getter.
I wear many hats.
It's also my CTO, also my integrator. Oh, there's just like so much I asked of this one person. Can you believe he said yeah? All right, here we go. Anyways, so here we've got the wind profile. That's like, pretty calm right now. This isn't like anything to write home about. This isn't like, oh my gosh, the winds are crazy, which is why I think some people are just a little bit more relaxed, and that's good. But what's our containment right now, Jay, on the Palisades fire? Believe it might be like 8%.
I'll pull that up. Let's see. 8%
Yeah.
is what they're saying, but visibly, I will counter that the fire looks to be a lot more suppressed.
Sure.
Right now. So I'm assuming that number will go up with the evening update, but they have now officially gone over 20,000 acres impacted. So pretty wide area, still actively burning, and a lot of areas that you saw from that smoke image. We'll go back to that real quick.
Not this one.
That's great too, where they have the evacuation center
Yeah.
and everything. But
Yeah. You mind reading through some of these? I think I can see some of these right now, but we definitely have the animal evacuation centers. That's really important for large animals as well. And then we have we have a couple of evacuation shelters. We have Stoner Recreation Center, Westwood Recreation Center. They were the first ones up, I remember. Ritchie Valens Recreation Center, Pan Pacific, Pomona. Road closures still include CHP West Valley, City of Santa Monica, City of Los Angeles. Animal evacuation centers for our dear little furry friends: El Camino High, American Red Cross, Aurora Animal, Baldwin Park, Carson Animal, Castaic Animal, Downey Animal, Lancaster Animal, Palmdale Animal. Now, if you're like me, I have a dog. We have little Chloe, you guys know, but you want to help out, you can go and just call or maybe just stop by to see if any of these places can use your help, which is what I'm going to do this weekend because I want to make sure I help out with the animals. Large animals, Pomona Fairplex, Industry Hills Expo, LA Equestrian, and the Castaic Animal Care Center. And God bless all of our little furry friends out there. May they be okay. I mean, I just can't imagine how scared they are. And God bless all of our seniors and all of our babies, all the kids who are just probably in shock right now. Definitely sending them so much love. But as you can see right now, Jay, I just, I know that I am being a little bit more kind of meticulous about these, but I just want to make sure that we're understanding that these are calmer winds, which is why conditions seem to be better. But they still have those road closures and they still have these contingency plans just in case.
For some of the areas, but we're looking at, I'm going to go back over to the live cam
Mm-hmm.
because you can't see this yet.
Mm-hmm.
That wind profile, you see where that convergence line is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where is that? Right there.
Accelerating. So that is consistent with this flare up.
Mm-hmm.
Right, if you pivot the other way, right there, see that flare up on the peak?
Yeah.
Yep, right there. That's consistent with the wind convergence lines.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Maybe you can circle that quickly.
I can't
You
get
can't?
into it, but that's New Bern.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there you go. So this is, I wasn't definitely trying to, call out people or just like let people, I just wanted to let people know that it seems like it's okay. But again, we're not in the clear. We're not done. We're only at 8% containment as far as this fire goes. They're doing a great job. But yesterday, I shared a post with you guys. Jay insisted that I go out there and shoot this one particular video. He wanted to show what somebody I'm 5'1", I weigh 108 pounds, and he wanted to show what it looked like for somebody like me to climb up this terrain. And it was darn well, like near impossible. It was like near impossible to actually climb. And I can't imagine with everything you'd have to carry as a firefighter and all this fire burning. So I just think that we just have to be really mindful and still stay out of their way. It doesn't, right? It just means like just be really, really aware still, because we're still tracking the wind profile being an issue, right? It might not look like it right now, but again, I did see the winds pick up, especially by Sunday. And that's something I want everybody to be aware of. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go back to a couple of items. If we can just go to the other graphic, I'm going to show you guys the hour by hour forecast here at Weather Co-op, because I also want to make sure that we are aware that not only are we looking at the concern that we have for our local weather, but we also have to take a look at the overall scope of the weather across the entire nation. So we're going back right now, back in time. I had to back in time. Okay, so this is what we talked about earlier this week, that this was a concern, right? This guy, the Genesis, was over here. We did see that there was getting a lot of moisture that was influencing this storm. So it was a moisture-rich storm. This had no problem tapping into that Gulf of Mexico and all that juiciness and everything that is the Gulf of Mexico there. And as it continued to move through, this had always been a problem right here. Look at this, right in Hotlanta. Do you see this? This is what they're dealing with, that wintry precip. We actually spoke with somebody earlier who said that that's a big problem, and that was something that he felt some locals had missed. Now, this is the other system that we're looking at that's making its way into the Pacific Northwest. We know that's going to impact the Great Plains. It's going to impact several. In fact, let's get this into motion and show you. It's going to make it all the way down through the Central Plains, Southern Plains. Look at this. Through parts of the Northern Ohio Valley, up and across the UP, and then making it across pretty much the Appalachians, the Piedmont, into the Adirondacks, and this is only through Monday. It'll continue. Now, that's going to be this storm over here, okay? So let's go back one more time so I can show you exactly what it is, okay? Here we go. So it's this guy right here, Jay, okay? This is what we're going to watch over the next couple of days, because this one we already know is a problem, right? It's causing a lot of headaches. So this is the one we're going to watch through this upcoming weekend, right? It's going to continue to move across the UP, right? And there you go. It's going to make it. We're going to pause this on Monday, and you can see here that we have more of a concern for more weather. So this is the overall weather forecast for the nation. Now, contiguous U.S. We also have this guy out here that we're going to be tracking. And this is the issue, right? We've got all of these storms ejecting, right? So those Aleutian lows, they're just continuing. They have a lot of cold air packed into them. So generally speaking, they're going to be snow or some type of wintry mix. Down here, the problem is that we've got that wintry mix. We have snow, but we also have rain. However, you all know I'm always looking at that lower level, the PBL, planetary boundary layer. Listen, I've had my butt handed to me several times in New England. Several times. New Englanders have no mercy on you when you do not get that precip type right, as they shouldn't, really. But we had to look at what was happening as far as any changeover. So oftentimes, you'll see like inversions in the atmosphere. And one day we'll do this together. One day when you're just like, you know what I feel like doing today? A skew tea with Erica and co. So what we'll do is we'll have like a little party that says like a skew tea party, and you'll join me and some of my favorite meteorologists, and we'll talk about skew teas. But today's not that day, thankfully, probably for you. Right, Jay? Today's not that day that we're going to study skew teas here around Weather Co-op. No, well, we're talking about the fact that we see the chance and the threat of everything changing over. So when you're going through a thermal profile, which is why I always say, remember that the weather works this way, right? Works this way, doesn't work this way. It just looks like it's this way. It's really this way. So it has so many chances to freeze, get warm, inversion, things like that. By the time it makes it to the bottom of the atmosphere or right to the surface, that's when there's this area we call the PBL, or the planetary boundary layer, and the opportunity there for it to change over and then or refreeze. Okay, so that's why when you're doing winter type weather, which is like my favorite type of weather, I was given the moniker, or did I actually, I think I named myself this, was the queen of cold fronts. I just live for any type of wintry type weather and wintry type of storm, because they're really complex. And this is when you know who studied in class and who didn't. Who studied in class? You'll know there. So there you go. You can see that this would be the next storm system that we're going to watch, and that's through Monday. So we are not done yet, guys. We have a lot of weather to go through. I also wanted to show you something else. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Come on. Come on, Erica. I'm disappointing myself here with my thumbs. So, Jay, I wanted to show everybody very quick. Hey, Jay. Yeah. I wanted to show everybody here the progression of the wind profile over the next couple of days, and why I said we're not in the clear, not yet anyhow. Did you see this? Through Saturday, and then look what happens Sunday. Okay, now we're getting this plume that pretty much looks like it's going to make it all the way to Hawaii. I mean, for heaven's sake, but imagine it won't. But the deal is that we're seeing an issue here with that entire process as far as the wind profile and how it's going to continue to move over the next couple days, right? Or change. Quick note. That's right, officially, CPC was like, La Nina, 2024-2025 winter. Now, we all know it's a weak La Nina. Why? I talked about it the other day. I gave you some fancy numbers. Some of you listened, some of you didn't. That's fine. But we do see here that conditions, nonetheless, are rather dry. Is Jay laughing? He's laughing. Now, we have very dry conditions, abnormally dry conditions, or drier than normal, 8 to 14-day forecast. Conditions will be cooler than normal over the next couple of days here in Southern California, but you can see here in the blue, right? And then by this longer range outlook, which we look at for S&Gs, but we don't really consider because we've got to make sure that it's far out, okay? It really is. But you can see here these drier conditions. Now, I do want to point something out. Jay, do you mind pulling up the GFS? I know some of you at home might say the GFS. I'm saying yes, the GFS. I believe I have College of DuPage up. I may have it. Yeah, a couple days ago, I said I'm looking at the time frame January 15th, 16th. I'm going to go January 15th through the 18th, okay? Models are now tweaking a little bit. You'll see a little bit of a dot that infers we may get some rain, but again, that's the 15th, 16th, 18th. It looked like it was favoring the 16th, but now this is the latest run. We're going to push this through, and you'll see on the 18th that we have the potential for a little something. See? So we knew it was coming in from the south. Ooh, it's spotty. I'm hoping it's something that does hold. Because I've seen it, change as far as time frame goes. It was initially the 16th, late 15th, 16th. So it was like 16th. Now I'm seeing a 17th, 18th. So we'll see. That's as near in time as I see anything, Jay.
Not much.
No. It's like, that's literally rain hunting. That's what you call rain hunting. Because it's a pretty bad situation. It's pretty dismal. We can see everybody else is pretty active in the nation. Southern California, we're going to have to wait until possibly the 16th, 17th, 18th in that time frame, okay? But is there anything else that you want to touch on, Jay? We talked about this quickly, right? We talked about the shifting winds over the next couple of hours, 48, 72 hours. You're seeing how they're shifting here, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to watch very closely because this is going to really affect or impact the probability of anything being contained.
I'm studying all the cameras in the UC San Diego network right now.
Uh-huh. Shout out to UC San Diego.
Yeah, the fire detection network has improved so much over the last several years. It does appear that there's a flare up there on top of that ridge, so confirming that.
See, nobody get mad at me. I was not trying to hate. I was just saying we gotta be careful. It's because what happens is the winds, when they get variable, they have to adjust again, meaning the firefighters. It's not just, and again, if you look at my IG post yesterday, that reel, it was near impossible.
Well, something that also needs to, I think, be thrown into the mix here is that we're dealing with multiple fires.
Yeah.
And LA County only has so much in terms of resources that they can devote to each fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eaton fire is still actively burning and is threatening more real estate at the moment than the Palisades fire is. So as they pull resources, especially the air resources, to attack that fire, some of the small flare-up areas in the Palisades fire could go for a little while, and that's something that people will have to look for. Before they get any type of response, it may take a little while unless there's a ground crew right in that location. Like yesterday when you went up
well, we were
fire, there were still ground crews
on Solar Drive.
There on standby, to take care of the spot.
It was like amazing. It was amazing to see it because there was nobody up there. And Jay and I get into this a lot. He's like, we have our credentials to get media credentials to get into these places. But I feel like I'm encroaching, which, by the way, shout out to the guy who ran his drone right into like officials. Like, hope you got the shot you wanted. So that was posted all over. And I think LA County Fire Department or Police Department, they did a much nicer job than I would have done. So glad that I'm not part of their media department because I would have been like, what? So that was really, to quote, is it Stephanie Tanner? How rude. How rude. But yeah, so it was so interesting to see. Everything was so calm and quiet atop of Solar Drive, right? As you see there were like 3 or 4 trucks there. We saw the fire personnel discussing things over like what you thought was a road that was just for fire. What was that again?
So on all of the ridges now, after the fires, I don't know, what was it, 6 or 7 years ago, they built or blazed fire roads up to all of the hilltops around LA, and they're gated off, fenced off to pedestrian traffic. You can use them as a walking trail, that's it. And they will unlock the gates so they can drive the heavier fire trucks that have off-road capability right out to those areas that are impacted and have a much faster response with more water.
Yeah. So we saw that. We looked. It was so peaceful. It was interesting seeing everybody just gather up in that area. Again, there was like no other media. We were there. We didn't press it. We went to the top pretty much of Solar Drive, and then we saw the fire truck, so we backed down a couple of feet, and then we just started taking these different videos. But it was so amazing to see how quiet and calm and peaceful it was as they were, putting together a plan. Because, what Jay pointed out a couple nights ago was the transmission lines above ground. That was a big problem. So as you can see right now, we have this is interesting. What is this?
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. So,
Wow.
once again, we're up in Topanga, looking out
Yikes.
toward the Palisades fire, and the wider view, which is down at the bottom there, running underneath you,
Here.
that shows both the Palisades fire that you stepped away from.
Oh, I'll get out.
And no, you're okay.
I'll step off camera.
And the Eaton fire off in the distance across the LA basin, showing the smoke plume from the Eaton fire also in the same shot. And I hadn't seen that over the last couple of days. But that flare up, and I'll put this into motion again. Let's see, we'll go full screen. 30 minutes. So just show you what the last 30 minutes has been with the Palisades fire. And you can see the solid flare up there in the center of the screen and off to the left. The darker colors indicate more dense materials typically that are burning. So you would think more in the line of deciduous trees, larger trees rather than some of the chaparral when you see the really dark colors, or man-made materials, synthetics, plastics, things like that. So unfortunately, it could be more structural involvement there. But there are several spots. That's the key thing that I was going back to from my earlier comment. There are several spots that are currently burning and actively burning. And the firefighters are going to have to watch that and then determine, and that's why the scene commanders are so important. And yesterday, I think that's what Erica was seeing up there, was a conversation between a scene commander and one of the firefighters who was coming back from the fire line. And they have to be able to get quick response units to these flare-ups or get an airdrop to a flare-up. And the air resources, although they're nearby, still have to be dispatched. It's not, for people that haven't seen that kind of strategy and tactic before, they have command centers that determine where the planes go, where the helicopters go, where the ground resources go. It's a very well orchestrated event when you're doing scene command for fire. And there's one person who's typically in overall command, and then for a large fire like this, they have several units that are deployed to take care of remote locations. They all communicate, and they need their communication network in order to dispatch the appropriate countermeasure or response to a flare-up. And here, just in this loop again, we'll play it one more time. So this is 30 minutes worth of video, and you can see how those fires are flaring up all across the ridgeline. There's actually a few more flare-ups in there. All of those have to be met accordingly before they get into a more rapid spread scenario. Even though the fire might not be as aggressive today, doesn't mean it's any less challenging.
That was my point. Like I saw Jay kind of make a face when I was like, I don't want people to take it for granted and just think like, oh no, it's okay. It's not okay where we are right now because it looks like it's okay, right? It's oftentimes like we'll just, it's like right before a snowstorm where people are like, it's not going to hit us. It's not. No, this is the case is that right now we're seeing a northeasterly wind. We are seeing some compressional heating with the wind because they are squeezing together. That's just, I didn't make that rule up. It's just called physics. And then what we start to see here is as those winds get a lot more volatile, that makes it a lot more ideal for this to kind of just, I don't know, marinate, if you will, right, Jay? Like just marinate and just really continue to work. And as you can see here over the past couple of minutes, we've been seeing a couple of flare-ups that wasn't there just a few minutes ago, Jay.
Yeah, in fire lingo, it's smolder.
Look at that. And but that wasn't even that was a few minutes ago.
In the middle, right in the middle.
Yeah, that wasn't even there. You guys, this was not there a few minutes ago. And that's what I just said to you. There's a northeasterly wind. We initially saw like a 3 to 5 mile per hour wind speed. Then we saw 10, 11. And apart from that, you got to think of all the physics, everything that's happening, the dynamic situation, the fact that the wind or the surface smoke is not one issue. I also, if you could possibly show us the winds at 700. If you go to, Oh, let's see here. I'll put you on the right map. Here you go. You can zoom on in right there. Okay. Head over to my wind contour. Up, wind. No?
Wind particle.
Yeah, there you go. And then you're gonna, so look for, I would get off of that model, perhaps get on the European model. Weather model, European weather model. Okay. And then get it? All right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to show you the wind profile at different levels of the atmosphere so that you get a better idea as to what's happening right here. No, I believe that might be helicity. Yeah, I'll step off camera for just one moment because I'm ringing anyway. You know when you get those phone calls when you're on air and people are like, hey! Yeah, got one of those. This is why my phone's always off. Do you need my insight over there? Let's go ahead and pull up some different products here. Only I know how I've layered these. No, this
Yeah, it's
here.
impossible to figure that out.
Okay, hang on.
Well, not impossible.
Okay, let's see. What did you just do here?
So many things to choose from.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So right here, guys, we're going to look at surface 10 meter. We can go to 850. We can go to 700. And then we can go to 500. Okay?
When you're ready, you have to just click that over from OBS so that
Okay.
you can see it.
Okay. Okay, guys. So, and everybody who's calling, do not call right now. I'm working. I know, it looks like I'm having fun. It looks like I'm just joshing, right? Because I'm just having a good time because it's what I do. It's what I love. No, not the case right now. Definitely a work situation. Okay. So, Jay, what level are we at right now? Looks like surface, 10 meters?
This is
750? 700? 850? 700?
700.
I just mashed up a couple of different. I was like 1750. Okay, so we're at 700 right now. Can you go to 850 quickly?
850.
Can you go to surface? It looks like 10 meters.
Surface.
Okay, give it a moment. Surface, and then go right back up to 200. 250.
250.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. So the winds right now have a northeasterly push at the surface through 850, northeasterly and north at about 700, and then higher up by the jet stream, we're not seeing anything wild right now, but we're getting a predominant northwesterly push. No surprise there. As I said to you, we're going to get slightly cooler conditions. We're going to be influenced by that Pacific Northwest storm by way of temperatures. And in fact, you did see that on the extended outlook, the long range forecast, 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook. Okay. But I wanted to show you right now, Jay, if possible, to go back down to the surface. And then actually loop that, the 3-hour loop. Remember, guys, we have it on CST, so it's Central Standard Time. I think that's fair across the nation, whether you're Mountain Standard Time, whether you're Mountain Time, East, West, or Pacific. Here you go. Looping. All right. So there, this is what we're looking at there. And I gather, Jay, if you were to pull up that other image again, that camera, I gather what you're seeing is this. Now, keep in mind, see that spotty yellow, Jay? That's our fire weather index.
Okay.
Right? Okay, you can pull that contour if you want, but it doesn't matter. I would leave it on because look at how that's all pairing up.
Hold on, let me put that back into motion.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happened. It's updating every 5 minutes.
This is so bad. At 8% containment? And the winds are picking up again?
Well, I was going to mention that earlier when you talked about this new flare-up in the center.
Mm-hmm.
With the wind
Right there.
behaving the way, and we'll go back to the wind map. How about that? Just
Right there.
right now. All right, we'll go there, and then I'll go back. Yeah, we're at surface. So it looks like the max, the wind max, is right over that area right now. Over the
Zoom in if you can.
mountain. Sure. So the area that the camera is viewing is put the pointer on.
Am I in the way?
I don't think so.
I might be.
Let me get.
I might be.
Way out here.
Get out the way.
Can you see the pointer though?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so it's this ridge
Hmm.
right here that camera's looking at, where the fire is burning, and you can see the wind barbs maxing out in the same area from northeast to southwest, which is why the smoke is going in the direction it's going, and it's just going right over the top of that. Oh, well, it's mountain, but it's going right over the top of the mountain. What's actually helpful to some degree is that the wind is going offshore and not blowing that fire over the ridge and down into the valley on the other side. So with all of those mountaintop roads that they've blazed, the firefighters actually do have a defensive line that they can take advantage of. So some of this burning, even though it looks dangerous and impressive on the video, sometimes in firefighting techniques, you allow areas to burn
Yeah.
so that you can contain the fire somewhere else.
It's true.
And with the ridgetop roads, it gives them a place where they can lay down retardant and station the ground attack crews to be able to battle the fire that comes up to the ridgetop. Notice that too with the transmission towers for the services, the cellular service, the camera service, even here with this image.
I don't think they can see the image.
I'm going to go back to.
Okay.
We'll get that over to there. So even with this image here, you can see the tower itself that the camera's mounted to on the far left of the screen, and the fire burning off in the distance. They're defending, if you will, some of the tower locations to keep them safe during the fire. So that they don't get compromised. They really do need the images from the cameras.
And so, Jay, if we go to our future cast and you go back and check the winds by later tomorrow into Sunday, what's your guesstimation of what's going to happen? Because we're still really dry. We have dew points in the 10s, 20s, and 30s in the area. And we can see here, this is our 3-hour loop. I may have left my clicker somewhere. Oh, for the love of humanity, Erica. It's fine. If you just go back to our future cast, it's probably going to be the graphic right before that, one or two before that. This is what happens when I just walk all over the place. Hand. Thank you, Hand. Thank you, Hand. Hand was. Can you imagine? I wonder if Hand was SAG-AFTRA. Just a question. Just a question. All right, guys. We just a little lightheartedness. That's all it is. We have a lot of viewers right now, so maybe we just focus on the shenanigans. Okay, so once again, we talked about the drier conditions but cooler conditions. You can see over the next couple of days. Once again, we said this is a bit arbitrary, but we like to show you anyway. Definitely give you some insight over the next couple of days. Here we're looking at our hour-by-hour forecast at Weather Co-op. Now, I tend to layer things differently. Okay, if you don't want to hear something a little bit more intricate, feel free to share this with somebody else, and this might not be for you. But what it is I'm showing you that by Saturday, second half of the day, the winds start to pick up again, and we're starting to see a gusty situation. So, Jay, in this case, where we're looking at the overall pattern for the next couple of days, and we see that the winds are a little bit more calm right now. They're going to pick up, especially for the second half of the weekend. What is your guess as to what they might consider?
Well, as long as the winds don't exceed the warning for flight wind,
right,
which I think it was 35 miles an hour for helicopter resources was the cutoff, then they can continue to aggressively go after the fire from the air. ground crews won't be an issue,
Mhm.
but it has really been the reliance on the air tankers and the other resources to go after the fire because of the topography.
Right.
With you're looking at the system here for the weekend, I mean, the pattern's kind of set up. You know, we talked about
Mhm.
this, where the first couple of storms of the season have kind of set the tone, if you will,
Right.
for the 6 to 12 week. And this next storm looks very similar in the way it's setting up.
So I'm gonna put this into motion, Jay.
Yeah.
So remember, this is the one that people are dealing with now. My understanding is that there was a bit of a disappointment in the actual forecasting here, especially when it came to things like the PBL. Am I wrong about this? That's
No.
that's the word on these streets around here. So the issue is you got to think about what's happening once that liquid moves through the thermal profile. What's going to happen once it makes it to the ground? That's all people care about. Like, do you think any? Listen, let's ask my mom and your dad. Do they care about what's happening at 700 millibars? No. If it's an assignment, sure. Maybe your dad, because he was a firefighter for so many years, or is a firefighter, retired now. But my mom, she'd be like, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? Wouldn't care. She'd be like, 700 millibars. She wants to know if she's going out there, right, as a senior citizen to go to the local grocery store, is there any ice on the ground? Are we dealing with sleet? Are we dealing with a frozen ground? Once that precip comes upon contact, it'll freeze over. Are we dealing with snow? How much snow? Is it rain? What's going on? What time will it change over to snow if there's going to be any? That's the problem apparently that's going on around here. Just letting you know. All right, word on these streets. Okay, word in this atmosphere. How about that? Now, then we've got that snow that's moving, continuing to move through the Ohio Valley, up and moving just northeastward. This is the guy that we're looking at here locally as to the impact, right? When it comes to wind, that's all we're going to get. I mean, it would be so nice if we got any type of moisture here, but not the case. So, Jay, that's what we're dealing with right now. And as you said, the problem is that we're getting those like flare-ups, and we could see some more issues. But all in all, I mean, it's getting managed, right?
Yeah, just going back.
They're doing
to
a great
the
job, guys.
forecast, you can see that system that you were alluding to that could potentially bring a little rain to Southern California.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me go through that one more time.
Right there.
Come on, let's go to the end.
End of the model run.
Okay, we're going.
4 p.m. Monday.
Because remember, I said it's somewhere around the late 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Wait for it.
It's coming.
Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm waiting for these two. This one right here, this guy, right? They're going to get more
Yeah.
here.
That. Right. So I'll take anything for Southern California.
I think at this point so that's the time of interest. We're going to go with somewhere around the 16th, 17th, 18th. We could get some showers, and we're going to eye that, keep an eye on that very closely for you guys, okay? But I think for right now, Jay, if you want, we could leave with a full screen of cameras. I think many people will be interested.
All right, let's go to, we'll show you an image that you have not seen at home today. This is the Wilshire Boulevard camera right at the end of Wilshire where it meets with
Okay, they can't see it.
Avenue. Right
There we go.
Yeah, they can.
Now they can. Look at that.
And that is looking due north up to the Santa Monica mountain ridge tops where the
And you can
Palisades
see-
fire is progressing.
You can see the beach.
There's the beach. There's Santa Monica Beach going up toward Pacific Palisades. And
And look at this is a great one, Jay. Can you loop it or no? If you can't, don't worry about it. No, but this is a really great one because look, this is the actual direction. Look what's happening. It's going out.
here you go.
See?
This is your 1 hour.
So we were looking at that loop, right? And it was coming right down from this way, that way. Right, there you go. And look at how close it is to the surface. This is what we were saying. That's why we showed you two types of smoke images. One was near surface, and then one was vertically integrated.
And if you step over to your right, you can actually watch those flare-ups as they come in over the last. This is just the last hour,
Mm-hmm.
by the way. definitely
See
some
that?
hot spots taking shape there.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm meteorologist Erica Martin with Weather Co-op. I'm also Weather Ready Nation ambassador. Weather Co-op is, and we're also certified Skywarn storm spotters. And we are here to, of course, serve and to help in any capacity. We will go ahead and leave this streaming for you guys. But if you have any questions, you can always DM us or email us at j@weathercoop.com. Myself, Erica at weathercoop.com. And you can just go with social at weathercoop.com. In the meantime, you be safe. Have a really good Friday if possible, and certainly keep in mind that there is other weather happening around the world, including that big snowstorm, that big storm that's impacting folks and family and friends across the south. All right, and then the next time we meet up, I'm actually going to go into some global weather patterns that I'm seeing. I think it's worth noting because, of course, here in Southern California, we are absolutely in need of precip, so we kind of got to look ahead. Bye, guys.